All right, hey everybody, we're back with another news feed here for you. Cover a couple of topics on this. Don't forget, I post at least a video every single day, sometimes two, sometimes three. Hit the subscribe, and there's also some cool stuff in the description below for you. We are getting into this one. Top Speed, the youngest vehicle with more than 14 million in sales. Now, everybody knows that the Ford F-150, okay, it says it right here, top selling vehicle in America is the Ford F-Series with over 40 million sold over the years, but it's been available since 1948. So it's had a lot of time to build up to take that long to hit those 40 million sales. But the Chevy Silverado is a new kid on a block introduced in 1998 for a 1999 model year. In the past 26 years, it sold over 14 million units across 4 generations. And this is all trucks from the basic Silverado 1500 to the Silverado HD, just like the F-Series. Well, Dodge Ram has sold in higher numbers of 18 million to be exact. It's had since 1980, so 20 years longer to hit those numbers. Ford's had a whole bunch of years. They've had what are we at? That would be 50, 75 years basically to sell 40,000. Rams had 46 years to sell 40 million, and Rams had 18 million sold over 46 years. Chevy in 26 years, 14 million. That's actually pretty impressive. And then if it's near total is 20 million units, if you kick in the GM twin, you know, the GMC trucks, and you combine them together, pretty impressive, pretty interesting. They go on here with some of the differences and the details, and they go through the generations and stuff like that, which you can find this article right at Top Speed and just type in any of these type in any of these keywords that you see right here. It'll pop right up for you. We are going to move on from there. This one right here, this one I found interesting. You can see if it works. It did not work for me. I was anxious to try it when I saw it, so I tried it on my Jeep Gladiator, and I tried it on my wife's 4Runner, and it did not work. Maybe it'll work for you. Okay, everyone in the comments with a different car brand says it works. Well, apparently I got 2 car brands that says it doesn't, but it's interesting. Woman shares universal fob trick for rolling down all automatic windows. Okay, so what she says you got to do is in a video, okay, this video with 1.6 million views, says that I am sitting in my car watching TikTok as one does, and I came across the video. There was someone saying that if you hit your unlock button on your car twice and then hold it down, it will roll down all of your windows. She starts. I'm like, okay, I'm fascinated by stupid stuff. Let's see if this works. Everyone in the comment with a different brand says it works, so I'm going to try it. Go out and try it, she continues. Emma then gets out of her car and follows the suggested method of hitting her unlock button twice and holding the button down. After she does this, all of the car windows roll down, much to her surprise. Okay, she says that was the coolest thing ever. Like I said, so technically, I guess what you can do is you can go take your car, and if you press the unlock button 2 times and then hold it, all your windows should roll down. Did not work in my 4Runner, did not work in my Gladiator. Maybe it'll work for you, but it's kind of interesting, pretty neat. They also say that some models, they go on to say in here later on that some models will actually do the reverse. If you press the lock button 2 times and then hold it, it will put all of your windows up. I'm assuming that's only vehicles that have auto in both directions, but either way, like I said, 4Runner didn't work and the Gladiator didn't work. So, see if it works for you. See what you think. Might be something kind of cool. Moving on from there, we got this one, our main one right here, okay? The Ford Ranger Tremor lands in Australia as a budget alternative to the mighty Raptor. So the main thing here I want to take away is hopefully that means that a Tremor is going to come here, okay? These things get released overseas before they come here from Ford, the Raptor, all that kind of stuff, the Wild Track X, all these vehicles get put over there first, and they get the better motors. They get a lot of benefit here that we don't get in the States. Ford, I mean, overseas vehicles are always better. But apparently, the Tremor is now officially there, and we're going to find out some of the specs on it. But what I'm hoping that means is that maybe in another year or so, we're going to see it over here. That's my hope. I'm pretty interested and excited about it. Let's see what they're getting over there. The Australia's Ranger Tremor is based on a sport trim, but gets off-road suspension and steering bits from the Wild Track X. That's a nice thing. Their truck is powered by a 2-liter twin-turbo diesel engine made into a full-time 4-wheel drive system. Why don't we get that? Okay, wouldn't that be amazing? But no, no. EPA here. Yep, EPA. Good old EPA. Follow its debut in New Zealand a year ago. Ford introduced the Ranger Tremor in the Australian market and its off-road upgrades. The Ranger Tremor inherits its beefier suspension and steering system from the Wildtrak X, combined with rugged styling touches and more durable materials inside the cabin. I'm liking what I'm hearing. I'm liking this. Okay, I mean, we'll see some pictures here, but I'm liking what I'm hearing. Tremor is based on a Ranger Sport, adding the important chassis bits from the Wildtrak X. This includes the Bilstein position-sensitive dampers with external reservoirs, new springs, heavier-duty power steering, and a more advanced full-time four-wheel drive system. They do not say, but I am hoping that means lockers, front lockers, and rear locker for sure. And even if they're not going to give us a front locker because they don't want to compete with the Raptor, give us a Torsen limited slip in the front. Give us some sort of limited slip in the front. Ford's algorithmically controlled brake LSD, the transfer, vector torque transfer, it's not very good. So I'd much rather have a dedicated LSD in the front, or at least if they're not going to give us a locker, but give us something in the front end of this thing. Torsen does a fantastic one like they're using in the F-150. Put that in there. Give us something in the front if you're not giving us double lockers. I guarantee it's going to come with a rear locker, but give us something in the front too. Compared to lesser Ranger trims, the ground clearance has been increased by 1 inch. The track, which is width across from wheel to wheel, has been increased by 1.18 inches. The Tremor also gets a rock crawl mode from the Raptor alongside a trail turn assist. Very cool. And trail control. I could care less about the trail control, but I do like the trail turn assist. Pretty sweet feature, especially when you're in the tight trails. Visually, the Tremor is distinguishable by special badging. Steel skid plate, like it. Cast aluminum side steps, a sport bar on the bed. It also rides on 17-inch asphalt black aluminum or alloy wheels, which are shot in the Grabber AT3. It's a decent tire. We'll see what happens over here. But here it is. We're going to look at some of the pictures of it real quick as well, too. Now, keep in mind, this is in Australia. Let's actually look here, finish it out, though, first. The Australian model looks less basic than a New Zealand spec Tremor, thanks to its LED headlights, like that, honeycomb grille. Inside, Ford designers added the orange Tremor emblems on the seat. Very nice. Under the hood lies the motor that we cannot get. We'd probably balk at it here anyway, which I would kill to have this kind of a turbo diesel here, but the whole rest of the world would probably complain. 201 horsepower, the 370 foot-pounds of torque, that thing's a dog. That thing's gutless. That's all I'd hear. Gutless, gutless, gutless is all I'd hear in the comments. I, for one, I would buy it in a heartbeat if it came here with that. Power is transmitted to all four wheels via 10-speed automatic gearbox, full-time four-wheel drive system, which is pretty sweet, and it's all just like it's coming from the Wildtrak. They're giving some prices on what it's going to cost over there, and let's look at some of these pictures and see what we got on here. Let's go through these ones real quick. Looks like a pretty sweet truck. I love the looks of it. You can see that little wider stance to it already right there. I love it. Nice looking. I mean, beautiful. Now, the rack bar on the back, that I could care less about that. That does nothing. That would be coming off immediately. But I like it. Now, this one I find interesting that over there, are there tow hooks on that? Or is that covered up in the front? Is that a cover over them? I'm assuming there's tow hooks there, but they put a cover over them. That's my thought. But obviously, the one here would be coming with tow hooks. I like these extra little lights right here, too. It's pretty sweet. Like I said, it's a good-looking truck. I think it's got a lot of potential in here. I like the little side step on there that they got now. You know what I mean? Like I said, I like the Ranger a lot. It's a good-looking truck, and a Tremor would be almost the ultimate trim package. Something more than an FX4, but not quite Raptor, and maybe Ford would actually make a few of these, because God knows they can't make a Ranger. They only make like 7 Rangers for an entire year, and they only make like 2 Raptor Rangers. They just can't produce them. They can't make them, and they can't get parts available for them. But apparently, someday, eventually here this year, this is going to come to Australia. Maybe someday we'll get one here and they'll announce it, and then maybe 5 or 6 years later, there'll be one that'll show up on a dealer lot, and maybe 4 or 5 years after that, there'll be a lot that's got 5 of them on it. Who knows? Like I said, we'll have to see what Ford does, but we're just going to roll through these pictures for you real quick. You can check. You can see all these on this article. See right there. Yeah, see, I would assume that's got to be a cover over tow hooks. I can't imagine there not being tow hooks on there. Maybe requirements there are different. I'm not sure. Like the Raptor style boards on there. Ford always does really good with their running boards. They're high and they're tight and they're simple and they work really good. Like the setup there, no front low tie down points. God, that drives me nuts. Put a tie down point down here so we can actually tie stuff down in the bed. What else we got on here? Track system's nice, power in the back end. Pretty sweet looking setup. I mean, other than that, I mean, it's basically the same thing as our Ranger that we're getting here. But it would be nice to have these extra features in there. We're not going to go through all of these, but I'll hit a couple of them for you quick. You can see some of the Tremor badging in there. I do not like this cheesy electric shifter here. If you're going to make it an electric shifter, then get rid of this and just give us a little dial on a knob, because this thing here does not feel like an actual manual or mechanical, even though they're not mechanical. This does not feel like a real shift lever. I do not like these. Many vehicles are going to them, but if you're going to be this electrical and this weird, just put a little knob on a dash where I can just reach and do it. If I got to come over here and play with this little thing and it's just going to remind me how much technology is coming, it's not like it used to be, I don't even want to touch it. Just give me a knob on there and I'll complain about the knob, but at least I'll have room for another cup holder or more space in my console. But here it is right there for you. Right there, and as we see on this one, on this Tremor, we're not seeing a rear locker button. You got to go into you got to hit this button and pull up the off-road menu to get to the rear locker. That's kind of a bummer. Wish that rear locker was on there, but I do hope this Tremor makes it here. So with that said, here it is for you. We're going to end this one, and as always, hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching. Put any comments you got down below. All right.